Well, 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 here we are at an undisclosed location, doing a little bit of a base tour today. I'm not going to show the rest of the stuff because it's not finished, and frankly, it's not for me to show. This is just my build at a base that I assume at some point will be left for the public to view. But for now, I will just be showing sort of my first prototype of a building that I would like to repeat in the future. This is kind of the first iteration. Trying to use fairly approachable items, stone, wood, etc. I imagine in other builds I will not be using end rods. I'll be using torches. But in essence, we have Constantiam Academy. Constantiam Academy is a project that I've been kind of off and on working on. Just sort of my little way of having fun by meticulously documenting everything that I find, although at this point calling it meticulous is a bit of a stretch. But anyway, we have our Constantiam Academy banners. I've been meaning to make these for a long time. These anchor banners, this is sort of the branding for the base that I'm at, called Alloway Harbor. And then up there is the JHF banners. That's from Wilfrey. At the time, I put those up thinking that that was the sort of banner for the group that I was that was running this base. But it turns out it was just an old relic of the Wilfrey story. So anyway, they're there, and I forgot to take them down. At this point, there's a bit of an abundance, to say the least, of banners. Future builds probably won't be having those. But we've got our little park benches and a little grassy area, a little sign-in spot here. We don't want any suspicious people coming to this school. There are children here, and we need to be mindful of who enters space for children. So, we just have this little courtyard here, kind of like an improvised sort of cedar-looking tree that I made. Given that it was improvised, I'm actually very pleased with how it turned out. I really thought it was going to look like garbage, so the fact that it ended up looking kind of like I was intending was a bit serendipitous. So that was fun to end up doing. And then we have sort of I guess I should label these maybe. But anyway, over on this side, on the right side, once you enter, is sort of like the student area. And then over here we have sort of the staff area. So in my head, Constantiam Academy is kind of a combination of a bit of Minecraft LARP, aka live action roleplay, but also kind of also sort of a functional purpose behind it that is very much tied to the real life, which is documenting the server history of Constantiam. So we'll start with the student area. Again, this is kind of a LARPy thing, but also a bit of documentation. So in here, we turn right, we have the classroom, and I tried to do bigger windows. The other parts of the building have smaller windows, but I wanted a big, bright, sunny room for students to be able to better pay attention. I find for me, in my own personal space and trying to focus, I like to have lots of light, so I tried to encourage that with the design of this particular room. And then so obviously it was a very improvised build, so that the room was smaller than probably a classroom should be. So I had to be clever with the space, and so as you can see, we have sort of the fold-up desks for the students. So that when they need to write down, we just use these and lift them up. We have an apple. Of course, every teacher gets an apple. And teaching today is me, Professor Mackenzie. I've assigned to my students a thesis on contemporary New Friendism. That's kind of a term in the anarchy space. I believe it was derived from sort of the etymology or nomenclature, whatever you want to call it, of the 4chan internet website forum community. And then today I was teaching a class on the Beef Sense Beef Boys. Just contemplating the research of past archivists, and we were just discussing the members, past, present, and potentially future. So that's the classroom, and obviously we have our Enderbook propaganda, getting people to aid in the preservation of Constantiam through uploading any content they find onto Enderbook. And again, we have our banners here. We have our armor stands with the trademark cuboid armor set. And then in here we have the library, and a little chest for returning any books that were borrowed. And yeah, just again, not a lot of space to work with, so I had to improvise a little bit. And then all these books up here are a sampling of the IRM collection. But obviously lots of space for people to add their own books if they want to donate any of their works to the Constantiam Academy Library. Yeah, and then here on the other side we have, looks like someone stole a banner. They didn't want to copy it, I guess. I'll replace that, I suppose, sometime soon. Over here we have research and archives. So this is just kind of a place where I'm like archiving kits that I find. So I'm currently in the process of archiving this Biome, Cuboid Biome 2021 souvenir kit. And then there's some player lore that I've been meaning to write about. So this is just kind of a visual representation of the work that I'm wanting to do. And then if we look at the books themselves, you can see right now I just have a title for these books, and obviously it is no longer the 28th, so I'll have to update the publishing date. And that's pretty much that. Fairly simple. It's more like a desktop if you can think about it like in the real world. If you had a desk, you'd have all these papers and things on your desk, and this is kind of like a sort of like a Minecraft version of having just a bunch of papers and whatnot strewn about your desk. So that's the research and archives. And then lastly, we have the staff quarters and groundskeeping. So we got a couple of beds, and obviously, we need a bathroom. And of course, like any school bathroom, there's a little bit of graffiti on the wall. So that is what that is. And then up here, we just have some supplies for food and a bit of valuables, some working revenue for the Constantiam Academy to work from, and then just basic repair supplies. So there's probably a banner in the interior part of it that will replace the banner that was stolen. And maybe I'll just give you a view of the outside. It was funny when I was building it. Someone was saying that it looked like a school that they actually went to, and I said, well, I'm trying to go for kind of a old, arbitrary, and authoritative build, and he was like, "Yep, that was my school." So I'm glad I could be kind of on brand with the look and feel that I was trying to go for. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That is the first iteration of Constantiam Academy. And I will say, maybe I'll... I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but I am recording this on December 29th, 2021, and the publishing date, the date that I put this on YouTube, is probably going to be much, much later on in the next year or something, maybe, I don't know when, but I just thought I'd record now, just because I wanted to get it out of the way. And just have it for posterity's sake, and in case it got griefed before I had a chance to record. So, there you have it. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio!